Hello, everyone. Before we get to this week's episode, we've got a brand new patron to thank, Lori.
Thank you, Lori.
And we have a birthday greeting for our Patreon supporter, Lucia.
Woohoo! Happy birthday, Lucia.
To get your own shout out and birthday greeting on upcoming shows, vote on which vexing questions we should answer, receive exclusive You Must Know Everything stickers, and much more. Go to patreon.com/YouMustKnowEverything or follow the Patreon link from YouMustKnowEverything.com. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon if you can. Now, on with the show. Hi, Dad.
Hello, Rasa.
How you doing?
Duper super. How about yourself?
I am doing amazing. Are you ready to know everything?
Wash the dishes of my ignorance away.
Okay, let's do it. Today, I have a theory about how trying to be happy will be your downfall.
There's a paradox. Tell me more.
I think that happiness doesn't come from trying. If you run around and do things that should make you happy, it won't work. Even if you're doing something that should be fun, if you're trying really hard, you're like, fun, hopscotch, kayaking, bubblegum. You're not as happy as you would be if you just do one thing.
So, forcing a smile is painful, or at least not as fun as if you let it come to you. If you try too hard, it'll backfire.
Yeah, I think of happiness as a breeze of wind. If you try to chase the wind, you won't get very far, will you?
No, that's a really good point. I love that way of thinking about it. Yeah, if you're
But
running around the world looking for wind,
it's not going to work out
it's
very
always
well.
going to be around the other corner. But if you just stop and stand in one place for a minute, eventually
the wind will come to you. So that's happiness. Stop, sit down, and let it come to you and blow your hair. Are you ready for today's poem?
Please. What is it?
It's called Happiness by Raymond Carver. So early, it's still almost dark out. I'm near the window with coffee and the usual early morning stuff that passes for thought. When I see the boy and his friend walking up the road to deliver the newspaper. They wear caps and sweaters, and one boy has a bag over his shoulder. They are so happy. They aren't saying anything, these boys. I think if they could, they would take each other's arm. It's early in the morning, and they are doing this thing together. They come on slowly. The sky is taking on light. The moon still hangs pale over the water. Such beauty that for a minute, death and ambition, even love, doesn't enter into this. Happiness. It comes on unexpectedly, and it goes beyond, really, any early morning talk about it.
The poem is saying happiness is bigger even than me talking about it, but we wouldn't have that moment if he hadn't shared it. May I read it so we can get the story one more time now that we know where it's going to end?
Please do.
Happiness by Raymond Carver. So early it's almost dark out. I'm near the window with coffee and the usual early morning stuff that passes for thought. When I see the boy and his friend walking up the road to deliver the newspaper. They wear caps and sweaters, and one boy has a bag over his shoulder. They're so happy they aren't saying anything, these boys. I think if they could, they would take each other's arm. It's early in the morning, and they are doing this thing together. They come on slowly. The sky is taking on light, though the moon still hangs pale over the water. Such beauty that for a minute, death and ambition, even love, doesn't enter into this. Happiness. It comes on unexpectedly. and goes beyond, really, any early morning talk about it. What is the moment in that poem when your heart lifts?
I think it really is sweet, the moment where the two boys are just walking in silence, but they're just so happy. And they're just walking, and they're not saying anything, but it's still enough.
I love talking to my friends, but it's a next level when you can be with someone and you don't even need to talk.
Yeah, that really is amazing.
The very beginning of this poem and several lines are short, almost cut off sentences. What do you think that does?
It's beautiful, but it's simple. It shows in the short sentences simplicity and the quietness, but still the joy and the happiness of it. All day, all week, maybe even all year, I'm going to keep in my head this image of those two boys in silence, walking side by side. Last segment of the show. Do you have a vexing question for me?
I do. This comes from a 6-year-old listener named Ella in Missoula. I know we've gotten several questions from another Ella. This is a brand new Ella. And her question is, why do elephants have tails?
That's a great question. I'll look it up, examine some tails, and get back to you and Ella soon. I'm back, and I've got the answer to Ella's vexing question. For most mammals, tails have one purpose: to shoo away bugs. Humans don't like pests, and neither do elephants. If an elephant swings its tail, a curtain of air forms that's kind of like a shield that can make mosquitoes not want to land, and it can blow away bugs that are already on them.
Handy. Or, I guess I should say, taily.
You know what they say, a tail swish a day keeps the mosquitoes away. You Must Know Everything was produced by me, Rasa Smith, and him, Jeremy Smith. And the amazing music was by Furniture. Get cool You Must Know Everything merchandise, submit your own vexing questions, and listen to more than 50 previous episodes at our website, youmustknoweverything.com. Please rate, review, and share the show. And please tune in next time for everything you need to know.